It's the Benz Brunani womanist. Baby boys, baby girls, you need to hear this. You sit down, receive this realness. Make sure your cup's ready for the tea, we are go sip it, yo. Hard time scrolling for your long shorts. You might learn something you never know. Collect you fine, and she's one of a kind. Don't say you're mine, say you're mine.
Hi, patrons, my patron baby boys and baby girls up in the place. Hey. Yes, I'm back. So, hi, patrons. And what do we have here? We have a letter from Jonathan G, talking about Kim K. So we'll get to that shortly, but let's look at the Hermit card. So to refresh your memory, the Black Angel card for this week was the Inquirer, encouraging us to ask questions from a genuine place of wanting to know, a quest for finding more meaning in this life that we exist in this society, this world that we exist in, and reminding ourselves that we are spiritual beings having a physical experience. We're spiritual beings having a human experience. And once we remember that, I think we can look at things in a way that I guess is described in other beliefs about detachment. Not a detachment like I don't give a fuck, I don't give a shit. No, but more like looking at it for what it is and looking at the energies and the dynamics at play, and then ultimately not taking things as personally. So, and seeing the lesson in the thing, you know? So that's important. And so the two cards that came up first were the Justice card, the very, very Libra card, and the High Priestess card, both really speaking about intuition, like spending as much time as you can honing your intuition, because that's the only way that the questions are going to come to you. So you don't accept answers at face value. Why is this like this? Oh, it's the way it's always been. Why is this like this? Oh, it's the way it's always been. But why? How? When? Who? Asking all of the questions, not in a way to be annoying, not in a way to undermine other people's authority or anything like that, but genuinely asking so you feel more at peace with your journey and why you're here. We look at maps all the time. To figure out where we're going. And so questions are the maps of our lives. We have to ask the questions to know where we're going. And that was profound. Yes. So anyway, the card that came up next was the Hermit card. And I've been getting the Hermit card a lot. I got the Hermit card a lot while I was, in the early stages of my grieving process. I got the Hermit card a lot, and it's the ninth card of the Major Arcana. So this is card number 11. This is card number 2. That still looks like an 11, which is why I read out the angel number 11. But the 9 is very powerful because it reduces to 3. And 3 is always linked to change, always linked to change. And 9 is usually the thing, the important stage before the big thing happens for you. Yeah. And so before the big thing happens for you, the Hermit card is inviting you to go inwards. Go inwards and trust yourself for the answers. And that's not necessarily to pull away from everyone, but don't take the things that people say as the be all and end all. So when I went to therapy this week, I mentioned it in the main episode, but I didn't go into depth. When I went to therapy this week, so the thing that my therapist does is that at the end of the card, at the end of the session, she has a deck of different types of oracle cards, like different ones, affirmation cards. She's got different packs, and she asked me to choose one, and we chose a pack. And the card that I pulled out said that the things that people say about you are a reflection of themselves and their inner environment, and they're merely projecting it outward. So you can't take that to be how you judge yourself. And I thought that was really interesting, because that's what we'd been speaking about literally the entire session, talking about, me feeling like my achievements were lesser because of how people were behaving whenever the achievements would come. And she was just like, that is not for you to worry about. Celebrate and enjoy your own achievements. Enjoy them because other people are dealing with their own insecurities. They're dealing with their own demons. That is not for you to be worried about. Do the things that you want to do. And I think that that's ultimately also important in this situation as well with these cards. You, as an inquirer, you ask people questions because you want answers, but then you can't give the power over to them and think that their answers, that's it. That's the end. You continue asking, but remember that the true answer comes from within. You already know everything that you need to know. It's within you. You already know all of the answers. It's about quieting, kind of turning down the volume on the voices of the outside world, turning down the volume on the outside world so you can hear your intuition better. Because the motherfucking thing about the intuition, that voice, that quiet voice, the thing about it is that it's so quiet that you can only hear it if you're very quiet. And when it has to get loud, it's because you've been ignoring it. And for it to get loud, sometimes things have to shift and move around you to get your attention because it's like, bitch, I was speaking to you. Stop ignoring me. I don't think your intuition would call you bitch. But yeah, just to get your attention, like, fam, wake up. Like, I'm talking to you. So the Hermit card is encouraging you to turn down the volume of everybody else and just the rest of life and listening to what that is within, because that's why you have the light shining within you, using that light, turning that light inwards, using that light to examine yourself from the inside out and understanding that all of the answers that you're looking for, the questions that you're asking, or the questions that you want to ask, they're there. The genuine questions are there. Ask those things and ask them from a place of surety. And the Hermit, he has a staff, guidance, finding your way, navigating the terrain. You can only navigate this terrain by asking the right things, asking yourself the right things, like, what do I want from life? How do I want to go about getting it? What will make me truly happy? Sit down, take your time. What will make you truly happy today? Now, what will make you truly happy from what you can think about in 5 years' time? Work towards that happiness by taking the decisions like that you're making now. Asking the right questions now so you can get to that happiness in 5 years' time. So that's what I really get for me from the Hermit card. Anyway, moving on, let's go to Jonathan's letter. Jonathan, a baby boy. He said, Kim strikes again. He says, well. The culture vulture succubus just proved me right to mistrust her. I usually try to avoid sending triggering things your way, but I actually tweeted her because she's speaking nonsense and I shan't have it. Everything was in caps. I have attached screenshots for your consumption. Start with the screenshot of the quote from her interview, kissing my teeth, a baby boy, Jonathan. Jonathan sent her a message and it says, so this is what Kim says herself. She was being interviewed and she says, and the interviewer said to her, I appreciate how you're using your platform to make a difference on larger issues. Political issues can be so divisive. And she says, I try to see all sides, especially after this experience, referring to the controversy over her visit to the White House. There's obviously a lot that we don't agree with, but I want him, President Trump, to win. I want him to succeed because it's our country. It's so crazy that everybody doesn't want that. Everybody doesn't want him to succeed, you absolute fool, you absolute ignoramus, you absolute dickhead. They don't want him to succeed because he's a vile human being. And I'm using the term human being ever so loosely. They don't want him to succeed because he's disgusting. He's disgusting to women such as yourself. He's disgusting to people that he deems as being from shithole countries. He has the cheek to call other countries shithole countries even. Like, he is a vile person and he has no qualifications to be in the office that he's in. How can you want someone like that to succeed? I know earlier we were speaking about, not wishing bad on people and waiting for their downfall. No one's waiting for President Trump's, or president sounds so weird, Donald Trump's downfall, because he's already fallen down. He's already useless. He's already on the floor. We just want him to move out of the way so someone can actually lead the country. And I will be damned if I'm supporting a Republican anyway and want a Republican to succeed. That's a bit wild. But Jonathan wrote to her Dear Kim Kardashian, a man that is undoing work that Obama did in regards to equal rights for women and discrimination law, inspired and appointed racists into positions of power and endangered the lives of black people daily, does not deserve to win. Because you've chin-wagged with him, your privilege as a wealthy white woman has made you relate to him. And because activism is a hobby for you, you can speak to a monster and forget the horrible things he's doing at the detriment of your country. Can't believe as a mother of black children, you spewed this shit. And I think that what Jonathan there said there really sums it up. Kim Kardashian is a fake bitch. She's a fake bitch, and she doesn't care. She doesn't care truly about these things. It's just she feels like she has access to it, so why not do it? It's detrimental. That's why I wasn't praising her when the Alice woman was, when Alice was pardoned, because she's still got a criminal record. They let her out, but they haven't taken, as a first-time offender, they haven't rectified that on her records. So she's still going to struggle to get work. She's still going to struggle, and I think I mentioned that in a previous episode. So it's just a bit weird to me why suddenly all these political avenues are opening up for Kim that she has no... But you know what? It does make sense. I'm about to finish the sentence and I'm like, look, you're a celebrity. The guy who's currently in the position of president is also a celebrity. So celebrities want to ride together. Kanye has proven himself to be very, very mad, and he loves off Donald Trump. And so you being his wife, like, I ride for my man. You're now following him down that route as well. Like, why would you pretend to not understand why everyone's annoyed? But then you are still the same prick that was supporting Jeffree Star after all the racist things that he said. And you're like, I don't understand why everybody's being so mean to Jeffree. Like, some people change. You have to let people change. You're a liar. No, please never trust Kim Kardashian. This is a white woman that wears wigs, and she goes, fuck a wig. I will never wear a wig. I actually dyed my hair. You didn't, because the rest of us aren't dickheads. We know. And so this is a woman who's firmly in the business of lying, and she has no interest other than her own self-interest. She does things that just directly and only benefits her. And she must be going for some kind of political position in the near future, and to give herself some sort of legitimacy, because I don't understand why else she'd be getting involved in things that do not concern her. It's really weird to me. But as she gets involved with things like this, it's dangerous, because it then means that we can't have the conversations that we need to have. I have all of my criticisms about Obama, and so that's why I don't tend to compare Obama and Trump, because I have so many things to say about Obama, but I just put it to the side because I know that you man love him. But the fact of the matter is, Trump is solely out here undoing all of the things that Obama has done that are seemingly beneficial to the country, because he just hates black people, and he just hates for there to be order in the world. Trump benefits people who are rich because he wants for them to pay lower taxes. He's giving them a better life. So of course, someone like Kim would support that. Kanye would support that. But we have to remember that Kim has no common sense and Kanye has gone off the rails. So their endorsement of Trump should actually be a red flag as to why he should not remain in a position of power, because he's a big fool and he's been supported by big fools. Kim, though, is one of those, again, I feel like she's the female Piers Morgan in that she thrives off black rage. Whenever Beyonce does something, she tries to find, she clamors for some kind of relevance and does something straight after something. Beyonce's done something because she needs to ride literally off the energy of black women. And so the best way we can deal with Kim Kardashian is really to ignore her. And I feel like even by speaking about her in this extra content, she's been given time that she does not deserve. The best thing to do is to block people like her and block people like Piers Morgan, because when you start to ignore them, they get less money because they're being paid money from how much attention they get, and they get the attention from aggravating black people and taking things from blackness that they do not deserve. So that's just how I see it. But thank you so much, Jonathan, for writing in. I encourage you all to send me letters. You'll notice that if you tweet me things that should have been sent to the email address. I just don't respond to it. I don't even click like. I just don't acknowledge the tweet or whatever you send me. So if you definitely want me to see something, send it to sym@kelechiokafor.com and I will get to it and read it out on the show. So thank you so much for listening, and I'll be catching you soon. Obviously, I'm Kelechi Okafor, duh. And this has been SYM, officially known as Say Your Mind, unofficially known as what? That's right, Suck Your Mum. So 2 slaps on your chest right now, wherever you are, for being real ones that support me. I really, really appreciate you, and I'll be catching you soon. Peace.
It's the Benz Brunani womanist, baby boys, baby girls, you need to hear this. Sit down, receive this realness. Make sure your cup's ready for the tea, we are go sip it, yo. Hard time scrolling for your long throats. You might learn something you never know. Collect you fine, and she's one of a kind. Don't say your mind, say your mind.